Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Chris here from Esports News, Axis Rotation, however the flip you know me on these interwebs. And yes, this is video number 6 on the day. We are on that Major 1 grind. This is going to be absolutely generational, just like this tournament. I hopped on here, literally just ended the stream about about 3 minutes ago. I'm mentally gassed. I have one series left to upload, the FaZe versus G2 series, which literally just ended like maybe 10 minutes ago. FaZe down, by the way. First, we're gonna actually let's look at the series and then we'll look at some tweets because the timeline has been absolute pandemonium today. I mean, breakers are breaking, right? So, speaking of breakers breaking, the Toronto Koi, as I so eloquently predicted, I recorded actually all of my play stats picks from today. I had, and it's fine. Maybe I'll mention it or show it or something later. Maybe it'll be the overlay here. But yeah, I made my play crack picks today. Certainly did not have Sib as the king of the castle on the Gentlemate side, king of the den, whatever you want to call him. Ghosty had a great map 1 as well. He was a little bit slow to start, but he definitely was hot to trot by the end. Neptune was solid, and Joe was the only person on Koi who was really doing okay. Kleenex was shooting back, but they just didn't have any pressure on the map, and they couldn't really do anything against Gentlemate, especially when Sib's dropping to 1.8, right? Neptune Series MVP with a 1.2, 89 kills, 74 deaths, 10,000 damage, and his Series IR was a 0.99. So Turnt actually did tell me, we were talking earlier today, and he told me that he updated the IR, so I will inform you guys on what the IR exactly is. So basically the IR is 35%, 35% of the metric that's taken into account to calculate it is KD versus the average, damage versus the average, map win percentage doesn't play a role, and then the hill time, first bloods, plants, oh my god, diffuses, and overloads. So it's a composite score basically saying, how did this guy perform against the best players in the world? How did he perform against the other averages within the same series? And why is he a standout? Which I think is a pretty sound reason to have the series IR display the way it does. I think that's a great, way to operationalize a lot of that data. So, speaking of operationalizing data, the map 2, not a lot to talk about. Joe Deceives 2.5 KD, 10 and 4. I mean, they let it all hang out. Insight 7 and 3, Real 6 and 5, Kleenex 7 and 6. Just great Toronto Koi team performance. Speaking of great team performances, we of course had a blistering overload. Dan Ghosty went absolutely nuclear along with Neptune. And Envoy, honestly, it was just a gentlemate's win. Mate win, you know what they say on Twitter, the Frenchmen. So yeah, I mean, great mate win. They just took over here. Joe Deceives and Kleenex, of course, that duo, 27 and 26. I mean, looking like Black Ops 6, Joe Deceives and Kleenex, just a lot of pressure on the map, not getting help from Insight. Pretty much same story as last year, you know. Different game, same story. So yeah, looking at the map 4, speaking of same story, the Gentlemates, of course, told the same story. Hey, we're better than you guys. We're going to beat you. Beat them. I mean, 250, 154 on exposure HP. Of course, this is a map where you figure Dan Ghosty's going to absolutely have a field day, but in this case it was Sib. Sib just had a monster series, and especially in the hard points today. And yeah, consequently, that was the huge difference maker. It wasn't the difference maker, right? I mean, Gentlemates were just leagues and bounds better. So that's that. So Neptune, of course, had 32 and 22 to close it out. He absolutely went nuts. Dude had an 11 spree. I'm probably going to have that just as a random clip that's included in here. And he had the crowd going crazy. So shout out to Neptune. He's definitely my player to watch for the rest of the weekend, along with Sib. That duo, yeah, I mean, take their over any chance you get, ladies and gents, because they are frying. And I don't expect that to stop anytime soon. Gentlemates, they realized they got to get Sib in the play. He was not in most of those plays throughout the major qualifiers, and he was a little bit lackluster. So seeing Sib really start to turn it up and look like he did even 2 years ago when he was MVP candidate going into Major 2, right? You would have to remember, if you have been a fan of the CDL for more than 2 years, that when he was on NYSL, Sib was an absolute man on a mission. He was a monster, and he was an MVP candidate early in the season. So, looking like he might be picking up where he left off quite a few years ago and resuming that save, if you will. So, speaking of people who resume saves, the LA Thieves, they said, we were really close to winning that last series. Let's pick up our last checkpoint and give them that belt. So, Hydra, of course, Paco wanted that taco. You know what I'm saying? He was the standout here. Taco Thursday for Paco. 1.42 KD, 68 kills, 48 deaths, 7,500 damage, and a 1.14 series IR, which means that he had a far and away better performance than most of the other people in the lobby, going against the other averages and things. Hydra was a clear standout. So, 1.71 in the map one, like I said before. Kenny, of course, had a 1.5. You guys know I've been saying that Kenny, I was expecting my guy to have a serious career resurgence on this LAN. I was expecting Kenny to be a serious contributor, and I thought he would be a consequential reason why this LA Thieves team would have a very, very solid Major 1 showing. So, Scrap, of course, had solid performance. Ernie's going to be Ernie. And then everybody on the Ravens went negative, but they were putting up some decent kills and damage. Craze had 29, Lurk, the other SMG had 29 as well. And then your ARs, Nero and Exceed, they got put straight in the dumpster. I mean, the Burger King was definitely back. He got crowned as the real Burger King here. Why is Slasher on the scoreboard? I'll talk to him about that. Anyways, speaking of map 2, Slasher was on this scoreboard as well, because he was looking like the rest of his teammates. Absolutely not spawning in. You know what I'm saying? So, Abizi, 14 and 3. God dog, 1,200 damage is nuts. What was this brother eating this morning? I mean, wow, 14 and 3 in S&D is crazy. Yeah, he had wraps at one point, bro. He had whatever those little like Segway looking things are that blow up, the annoying things in pubs. Yo, he had those things, bro. I was actually losing it. So he's a 4.67, Hydra 1.6. I think I actually got these KDs right and play cracked, like some of them. I did not have Kenny with 2 and 6. I had Kenny with, I think, 5 or 6 kills. I had Scrapped around this. I had him at maybe 5 or 6, 5 or 6 and 7. So I might have got Scrap's line exactly. And Exceed the Burger King, you know, he started flipping, but those burgers they were burnt. They were burnt. His teammates, they left him on the grill too long. And the Burger King, he tried his very best to salvage them, but those burgers were cooked, and so were the Royal Ravens. We had some Royal Ravens burger on the grill, as it were. You know, we had some Raven today. So, looking at people who had Raven today, Abizi. Too easy for Abizi. 25 and 21. Hydra 24 and 22. Kenny 16 and 15. And Scrap 18 and 19 to get a really decisive overload victory where they obviously got this series 3-0. They won at 6-3. They had some serious leg room in that scoreline. Exceed the BK, you know, he had a 1.41, but they crowned him as the donkey of the day instead of the BK. And yeah, that's all she wrote. So, LA Thieves series was an absolute dominant showing from the Thieves. Speaking of dominant showings, OpTic Texas at their home event, drum cheese, home cheese, Pred got dropped on his head cheese, whatever you want to call it, parked the bus cheese, none of that mattered. OpTic was just out here looking like they, you know, never left, really. I mean, the last time we saw them at this venue was Major 1 last year, right? And famously, they looked terrible, but they came into the venue with Merc this time, and Merc is, as you guys can see, the series MVP. 1.3 KD, 57 kills, 44 deaths, 7,400 damage. He's the opposite of Kenny last year. He has a 1.27 series IR, which puts him in the elite category for today. So, it looks like Mercules is probably the best player on the day overall, but let's double check that. 1.2 for Nep, 1.42 for Hydra. Okay, so Hydra wins the day. Merc, of course, let's talk about him because we're focused on OpTic right now. Cell, 27-27 even. And then Merc, he dropped it on him, 32 and 22. I might have got this KD right as well. I had a feeling Merc was going to drop a 32 and 22 somewhere. So I actually did put that down on paper, or on PlayCracked. So hopefully I locked that in. Shotzi, of course, the Warlord, he's back. Shotzi, he's back. Warlord is, he's patrolling, he's rolling. Dude dropped a 1.35, 31 and 23, 3,700 damage. Shotzi's just him. He's back like he never left. You know, you had to figure on LAN. A guy like Shotzi's, he's just going to put his feet up. You know, like, he's been playing LAN since he was probably like 16 when he started playing Halo. So, dude's very, very comfortable on LAN, and yeah, he looked good. Speaking of people who looked good, we had who else but Bruce, Dashy, whatever you want to call him, Splashy, any of it. I mean, you could call him the MVP here because he dropped 8 and 4. He had a 2 KD, and then Merc, of course, his AR duo, 8 and 5, and Shotzi, the Warlord, 8 and 6. And then, like I said before, Cell only stand out on the Riyadh Falcons, who had a slightly positive KD, 7-6 when Kismet 6-7. I mean, you weren't really doing that much, right? So, I mean, well, 300 more damage. I mean, Cell consequentially was putting a lot of pressure on the map. It's just Falcons, as Pred so eloquently said at the end of the series, comms are terrible. Comms are cooked. So, yeah, this was clearly a difference in communication and cohesive teamwork and strategy. Like, this was a masterclass in if you and your team are not on the same page, you're not calming efficiently, you're not really like tracking players efficiently and playing Call of Duty the right way from top to bottom, you're going to get 4-1, 6-3, and 250, 135. You know? So, speaking of 135, we had Hook dropping a 1.35 KD, ironically, in the Game 3 overload on Den. Dashy, of course, had a 1.17. Shotzi had a 1.06, and Merc went even 17-17. He had his feet up. I mean, they just had so much pressure on the map, and Riyadh was so mentally chalked at this point. It was just kind of a foregone conclusion when we got to the map 3. I mean, we all kind of knew, based on the looks on Cell's face during the S&D and the way Pred was moving, these guys, their heads were gone. Speaking of people whose heads were gone, this was like Avengers Endgame when Thor had the hammer, or not the hammer, when he had the axe, and he met up with Farmer Thanos and did what he needed to do. I mean, what are we looking at, bro? Simp 1.2. Oh, let's get into the series. Estriel, of course, was the series MVP. You guys know, if you watched the last video, the preview of Major 1, I did say that Estriel is the make or break player. If G2 was going to have a phenomenal weekend, I thought Estriel would have to be the man to step up. And like I predicted, he had an elite day. He had the best series IR of any player in any of the lobbies we saw today. 1.25 KD, 66 and 53, 8,600 damage is crazy in 3 maps. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, some guys don't even get that in 5. Wow. Okay. So, let's get into it because, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. We might have found some new Burger Kings. I mean, you know, Simp got that Burger King card after his champs performance. We're not bringing it back for him because he had a great series, but not a good day for the FaZe side. I mean, they were all co-Burger Kings today. Simp had a 1.2 in the map 1. He's the only person to go positive. Then everybody else, Draza and Abuza just got absolutely tucked to bed good night. I mean, who can Aluka replace both of them at this point? I mean, sheesh. 19 and 30, 18 and 29. I mean, Jesus, those aren't even tour dates, bro. And 04 was 30 and 32. He tried to help Simp as much as he could, but those guys were cooked. When your ARs are getting neg 11 and neg... Well, they both had neg 11, ironically. And .6s, I mean, god dog. Get a kill, brother. Pick up your controller. I mean, speaking of people who picked up their controller, we had Caesar Skies with a career game for himself. He had a career series, if we're being honest. Caesar Skies was just everywhere on the map. That dude was everything, you know. Back when I started the channel, I used to call him Baby Formal, and today he did look like Formal. I'm not going to lie to you. He was definitely the AR on the map. 29-21 from Caesar Skies, Kremp 31-25 on the Blackheart HP. So this kind of proved that Minnesota's map pool is not as shallow as I said. I said that their map pool... Was it them? It was either them or C9. I said that their map pool was as shallow as a kiddie pool in Antarctica. And man, they really thawed that pool out, I guess, huh? So, yeah, they looked really good here. Estriel 28 and 24. And then, looking at the Scar S&D map 2, Simp was the only one who really got involved in any of the plays or any of the rounds in serious ways. Like, everybody else was just a step behind, and they all looked terrible. Draza 1 and 7, 04 2 and 8, Abuza 5 and 8. I don't know what happened to FaZe today. I mean, you would have to expect them to come out way better against Boston. Boston Breach are, I mean, they're Boston Breach are a joke. But, yeah, I don't know what to think, guys. So, looking at what, I mean, let's just look at G2 briefly, right? Like, 10 and 3 from Skies, 8 and 4 from Estriel, 7 and 5 from Kremp, and 4 and 5 from Mamba. I mean, 29 kills, 17 deaths on that side, 1.71 team KD, and a .59 team KD on the FaZe side, 8 first bloods. Wow. I mean... Yeah, I mean, G2 was just everywhere. You know, they say Chris Laird's everywhere. No. Skies, Cesar Bueno's everywhere today. So, speaking of Cesar Bueno being everywhere today, he actually had a stinker in the game 3, the rare stinker for him today. He had an amazing series. Skies, to me, watching the series, he was the MVP, but Estriel had better numbers all the way through. 28, 8, and 30. I mean, yeah, he definitely had better numbers all the way through. So yeah, looking at the game 3, not a lot to, well, there is a lot to talk about actually. FaZe went up 5-1, and with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go, they gave up 5 overloads. Guys, a lot of times these games are 2-score games, and teams cannot get to 2 overloads in a minute and a half. I don't know how these guys got to 5 overloads in 2 minutes. Like, they were just routing FaZe, and I mean, those guys were just hopeless. They were cooked. They were in a frenzy, and they just could not hunker down and figure anything out. So, yeah, I mean, FaZe, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. This was a big exposure series. No pun intended. We didn't see an exposure in the series at all, ironically. But we did see an exposure in this series of FaZe. They're on super fraud watch. Lose a number 2 KD for what? You came in and blew that up on day 1. Now you got a Snoopy KD. I mean, come on. Now you got a Legend KD. You got a Shotzi and Hardpoint KD. I mean, come on, bro. Just drop it. So, yeah, that's it for the series. Box score, Estro 30 and 25, Kremp 31 and 27, Mamba 22 and 22, and Skies, like I said before, 16 and 22. So, 1.03 Team KD from the G2 side. And then, on the FaZe side, Draza had his best map of the series, 28 and 22, Abuza 23 and 22. Those two turned it up way too late, and 04 20 and 29. So, yeah, I mean, he got tucked in the back half of the game. That's probably why the scoreline looked the way it did, right? And then Simp 25 and 26. Not really much to say about that. Just, I mean, if you're even, like, you're even. So, let's look at the tweets, because we had some really interesting stuff go down in the TL today. So, this is just something I like. This is Gotaga reacting to Neptune's 11.
Là, on peut leur casser les, ouais, on peut leur casser les pieds au mid.
Voilà. Voilà! La planète! La planète!
Dude, look at the passion, bro.
Son premier -4 en LAN cette saison.
Continue.
The crazy thing is,
Oh!
dude, look at the passion. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Attention, ça spawn de l'autre côté, on le sait, revient vite. La planète qui revient vite.
There's 3 more coming, Gotaga. Just wait. Just wait. It gets better. Bang! Bang! Bang!
Oh, il a failli faire son deuxième -4, 10 secondes après. Le monstre. Les gars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak French, but I know when a man's hype. So this was a banger from Gentlemates. They actually ratioed Joe Thieves badly. So they said, we qualified you for winners just to send you to losers ourselves. Because Joe Thieves last week, when Toronto Koi was looking to see if they would make winners, they needed Mates to beat the Miami Heretics. And Mates, of course, beat the Miami Heretics in convincing fashion, 3-1. Rancor smacked the desk, as we know. And yeah, the Gentlemates smacked the desk in this series. They absolutely trounced these guys. And then they're taunting on the TL. This is crazy. So, speaking of people taunting on the TL, look at this from Shotzi. This is from the control. Shotzi was literally just licking walls, bro. He's literally just looking at a wall, which was comedy. Then we had this from the LA Thieves after they bodied Exceed. They crowned him. They gave him a performance-based crown. They made him the Burger King once again. Employee of the Month. That is crazy. That's crazy, bro. Then, of course, these were bangers. The CDL, whoever's the admin on this page, is killing it. I'm going to let you guys watch this one. This is a banger.
Slam him. Our revengefology.
One more gun.
I mean, the Falcons are just looking god-awful right now.
I'm going to slam him.
Alright, so this is the next one. This is from Carolina versus LA Thieves.
I think we're feeling pretty confident. Nervous for the Burger King.
Yo, if we win a fucking map 1, I'm running through this house butt-ass naked. Come on.
Get laid down, baby! Where's the bedroom? Where's the bedroom?
Where's the bedroom is crazy, bro.
I think we're feeling pretty confident.
Nah, Scrap is crazy for that. Where's the bedroom is so foul. Alright, so we're going to watch the full Where's the Bedroom cut right here.
It's fucking laying down, baby! Where's the bedroom? Where's the bedroom?
Nah, that's OD. Where's the Bedroom is OD, bro. Alright, and then let's watch the Toronto Koi. This is theirs.
Ooh.
Are you sure about that? That's quite big.
Toronto's just been bad. Good job of hunting him down, making sure a play does not.
I think going into the LAG match.
Oh my God. Okay, and then we have this one. This is a good one. This
Good job of hunting him down, making sure a play does not.
is the cook dog, not the cook dog, bro.
He does not.
Okay, and then here we go. Here we go. This is the penultimate clip from the admin. This is the best one. You see, I replied. This is the penultimate clip of the day. Here we go. This is where we end the video. FaZe down, Mamba up, G2 up, G2 win, all of it.
Yeah, it's just crimp on land.
It's just crimp on land.
Using drums, we use O4's cheeks. But yeah, that could work.
Give me FaZe for real.
I mean, honestly, the Mamba FaZe down thing is like kind of personal.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
crimp on land.
so yeah, we have had an insane day, as you guys can see. We had 3 3-0s and 1 3-1 to start Major 1. We had FaZe getting upset. We had the number 2 seeded Riyadh Falcons getting upset. And we had the Carolina Royal Ravens, who were 5-2, also getting upset. So let's check the standings and see who survived the purge. So, Paris Gentlemates, clear. LA Thieves, clear. OpTic Texas, clear. FaZe Vegas, whoa there, buddy. Riyadh Falcons, whoa there, buddy. Carolina Royal Ravens, whoa there, buddy. G2 Minnesota, hello. Toronto Koi, whoa there, buddy. You're now 10th place in the CDL standings. They are not beating the trash allegations, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, that is where I will end the video. Hope you guys had a great morning, noon, or night. Hope you enjoyed all the Call of Duty action. Don't forget, if you missed anything from today, all the highlights are up, and all the highlights will be up tomorrow. So, yeah. There will be 5 matches tomorrow, so 5 different highlight videos, and there might be a recap, plus there might be some play cracked picks in the morning. Depends on how I feel. Depends on how much I get to tonight. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night, like I would say on the channel, and hope you enjoy all the COD this weekend. We are going to be going crazy here on the channel, just doing everything that we can to make Major 1 as fun and exciting as it can be. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, and once again, this is Chris from Fix First News Extra Station. However, the flip, you know me, these interwebs, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace!